Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Creative Podcast. This is episode 521. If you're joining me live, please say hello. And if you end up watching the recorded version of the podcast, please also feel welcome to say hello. We are live in Southwest Florida at the beautiful beach, watching the sunrise over the Gulf of Mexico. Hi, Carrie. I'll wait a few minutes before beginning as we wait for people to pop over from pre-chat and notifications. Good morning, Christine. Happy Monday. Hello, Kat from London, Cranjeet, Christy. Hi, Lisa and Joe and Edna. Yes, Lisa, I have a story about the hat. And it is not going to be for Marlon. Hi, Joe. Hi, Gail. Hi, Carol. It's interesting things happen with the hat, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. Hi, Diane and Judy and Brenda. Yes, it's somewhere in the 50s this morning. I think it's 52. A little chilly. Hi, Simone. And that was before getting to the beach. It's always chillier at the beach, but as the sun's coming up, it's going to heat up really quickly. I won't need my coat the whole time we're here. Hi, Petra and Carrie. Christine, I'd be more than happy to help you with your download if you email me with your order number. Unfortunately, I can't do that type of stuff from the live stream. But if you want to email me, I'd be more than happy to resend your download link. Hi, N2 Crochet CC something. I'm sorry, I can't quite read your name, but good morning. It is pretty today. It's a beautiful day at the beach we've got. Beautiful colors, we've got the waves, it sounds so nice. Hi, Shelly and Christy. Christine, wherever you normally email, I don't know what email you have, wherever you normally email, or use the contact me button on my website, and Judy will help you. Either way, we just need your order number in order to resend it, that's all. But I can't do it when I'm at the beach because I'm not in front of my computer. Sorry, I wish I could, but I can't. Okay, so hopefully everybody had a good weekend. I finished the hat that I was working on over the weekend, and Marlon took one look at it and said, nope. He said, that is way too busy for me. That's not what I would feel comfortable wearing. My head would feel huge in that. So turns out we have a challenge on our hands because he's going to be super picky about a knit hat, which I think is fantastic. So I'm going to keep this one for myself, and which means I can pull out my bag of faux fur pom-poms. So I got a bag of these. There's 12 pieces in the bag, and they're in my Amazon shop, so you can order this as well. And it comes with 12 different colors. There's this black with the tips in like a, let's see, what color would that be? Like a taupe, black with taupe tips. I think there's 2 of those. There are a couple of white with silver tips. I like those too. Those are pretty. And then these are just solid silver. Those are pretty. And then there's the solid, and then these are like a light, very light creamy color, brown with brown tips. That's really pretty. And then there's some solid white. There's 2 each of each color that I'm showing you, and then 2 each of solid black. So there's 6 different colors, 2 each of each color, so there's 12 total. And I'm going to show you how to attach these to a hat. So first you want to feel around the ball. There should be a little loop on it. And the good thing is that they're well hidden, which means once you put it on your hat, you won't see it. But it might take me a minute to find the loop here. May have found it? No. There it is. Okay, so you just want to keep rubbing around and feeling for it until you do. And then you'll find that there is a little elastic loop, kind of like a hair tie loop, but much smaller. And it's right there. See that? So I had to really feel around for it, which is great because you don't want to see it once you put it on your hat. So what I'm going to do is pick one of these colors and attach it to the top of the hat and call this one mine, and keep thinking of other stitch patterns for Marlon. I have a feeling that he wants something just stockinette. He wants something with just a smooth surface. So this ended up being a 4-row repeat of offset 1x1 ribs, which I think is super cute, and when I put it on, I think you might agree with me. So what I decided is that I'm going to make a couple of hats and size them in a lot of different sizes so that you can make it for kids, babies, women, men, whoever you want to make it for, because yes, you'll be able to make it, Joe. The pattern's coming out. It should be out later this week. We're still in the middle of making the pattern, and it still needs to be photographed when it's done. You can see the texture's pretty minimal, but Marlon's going to be somebody that has a very specific design aesthetic for a hat, and that's fine, because if I have one on my list, I know you guys do too. So I'm going to come up with something a little more simple for him. I don't even think he likes the ribbing at the brim here. So I'm going to try to go really smooth for his hat, and when I do, I will make a pattern for that as well. So I'm going to show you all 6 of the colors of the pom-pom, and then we can decide together. Take this off. And then we can decide together what color looks best for the hat. So this is black pom-pom with silver tips on the tips of the fur. Then this is white with silver tips. I think I like the white with silver tips. Put that on the side. Then there is solid white. Then there is solid silver. Then there is the warm tones. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the solid black. So, anybody want to share their opinion, what you think? You can decide together. I think my 2 choices would be the white with silver tips or solid black. I think I'm getting a lot of agreement on the white with silver tips. Yeah, white with silver. Okay, so now we'll feel around for that little loop on here. Ooh, I found this one quicker. And you notice I left my tail, so I'm going to take the hat off now. I will have hat hair, but oh well. I brought down my scissors and my yarn needle, both pieces from my new crochet toolkit. And I'm going to thread my yarn onto the yarn needle. Now I've already pulled my tail to the back side of the work. I'm going to pull it back through to the front side of my work for a minute so that I can attach. Which one is it? Now for anybody who would like to make this with me, the pattern will be out in a couple of days at the most, and the yarn and the faux fur pom-pom kit are both linked in my video description, at the very top of the description. Okay, so we've got our tail at the top. I have threaded my yarn needle through that little elastic loop at the top of the pom-pom. I'm going to pull it all the way through and then come back and pull through the top of the hat. This would be easier if I wasn't trying to do it on camera without a table or my lap to work with. You would have a lot more control over what you were doing. And I'll pull it back through the loop so that I'm creating a knot where I'm attaching it. And I'm going to do that a couple times through the loop and through the yarn. So I'll find my loop again. I'll move the angle down so you can see what I'm doing. So it'll be easier for me to do this in my lap. Okay, so I'll go back through the loop again, back to the top of the hat again, and when that loop gets shorter, I will loop through the loop to make it a knot. Okay, find the loop again. I think 3 will be plenty. Go through the loop. go through the hat. As we get close, loop through the loop, pull tight, and then I'm going to push my needle back through to the back side of the work. Then I'll weave in my tail. When weaving in loose ends, it's always great to work in at least 3 different directions and at least 4 inches. The more you can weave in those ends, the less likely they are to come back out. And on a hat, this is something that's going to get regular wear, which means it's going to get regular washings, and you really want to make sure that those ends are secure. All right, I feel pretty good about this. All right, grab my scissors. I love that my scissors have a case. No more stabbing myself through bags. This is great. All right, so now we'll push this back to the front. Let's see if I did a good job or not. You never know until you put it on, right? There, what do you think? Isn't that cute? I've never had a hat with a faux fur pom-pom before. I've been wanting one for years and I've never had one. Cute, right? Yeah, well, you're going to have to wash with pom-pom on it now, Petra. Absolutely. I would not take the pom-pom back off to wash it, especially if you're going to give this as a gift. That would be completely unrealistic to ask someone to do. So I would suggest hand washing. I can do an experiment of putting in my washing machine with the laundry bag and see if how that turns out. Because if it turns out well, which I think it might, that would be a great way to gift the hat to someone, is to give them a laundry bag and say, yes, you can put it in the washing machine. Look at how it wiggles when I talk. I love it. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, wash it inside out. Absolutely. Did I hear stabbing? No, I didn't say anything about stabbing, Edna. I don't think so. Oh, the needle, the scissors. Yes, I said I really like having a cover on my scissors because I've damaged bags and I have damaged jeans. I have damaged shirts. And I've even pierced my skin, I believe, all because of just throwing super sharp scissors into my bag without a cover. And I just love having a cover on my scissors. That's what I meant. Hi, Cherie. So, how easy was that, right? If anybody has been intimidated by putting faux fur pom-poms on hats before, I hope that I have demystified that for you this morning. It is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. It was super easy to do, actually. And I love the fact that that loop on there is elastic. It made it even easier to add the faux fur pom-pom. My only suggestion is always, always, always take your time when weaving in your loop ends. The longer you do it and the more directions you do it in, the more likely it is to stick. And especially with something that's going to be high wear, requiring regular washings, you really want the ends to be woven in. No, Carrie, I was explaining that Marlon didn't style for him. He thought that this was too busy for him, and that's fine. I thought it was an interesting whole story and challenge to share with all of you, because if I have a picky hat person on my hands, I'm sure some of you do too. So anybody that thinks that they would like this hat for men, women, or children, the pattern will be available later this week with all those different sizes. If you are interested in the yarn Be So Baby or the faux fur pom-poms, I've posted links to both of those in the video description here right now. And I am now going to work on another hat for Marlon that will have a smoother texture. I have a feeling he's going to want something that's just stockinette and just a nice tight stockinette gauge. So that's fine. Whatever baby wants, baby gets. So you wish there was a pattern like it for crochet. Yeah. Brenda, your guys like stockinette too. Yeah. Yep, some guys like things super simple and plain, and that's okay. Yes, Christine, these scissors have the tip, the protector tip. Yes, that is correct. Snaps right in place. You know what, Kimberly? Stockinette can be boring at times, but stockinette in the round is like a no-brainer. It's something you don't even have to look to do. So for me, as soon as I figure out my gauge and all that stuff, I can just go on auto-tune, right? Or not auto-tune, just, what do you call it? Autopilot, because I'm going to just start it, watch a movie, watch instructional videos, talk to somebody, go out to lunch. I can do anything when I'm doing stockinette in the round because it doesn't require any thinking. So there's times for that kind of, it's very like a Zen project. So Petra, I love it. I've wanted to have a pom-pom, a faux fur pom-pom on a hat for years, and I've never done it before, so I'm super excited to have my first faux fur pom-pom hat. So thanks for being picky, Marlon. See, making lemonade out of lemons, right? I could have been disappointed that he didn't like it, but instead I turned it around and made it a challenge, and I think it'd be even more fun for all of you too, because now there'll be 2 patterns instead of 1. Gosh, maybe I could get him to photograph with me. That might be pushing it, but we'll see. Oh, that's good for you, Christine. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Annette. Hi, Elda. Lydia, there's a link to the pom-poms, the faux fur pom-poms in the video description. They're also in my Amazon shop. You can go to amazon.com/shop/Kristin Omdahl and you can find them there. Or I posted a link in the video description for the exact item of finding these. And they come in a 12-pack, two each of 6 different colors. If you want to see them up close, I showed them all individually at the beginning of the podcast. So if you want to watch the beginning, it's all there. And there's photos on the link to the product that I showed too. Great questions, everybody. Any other questions about that? These are all the same size in the back. I'm sure you could find other pom-poms elsewhere. This is just sharing the one that I used. Cool. Sandshell's used these before. I'm guessing you like them too. I don't see what's not to like about them. They're so easy. Yeah, that's great, Sheree. Hey, do we have a storm rolling in? No, we've got some really cool colors here today. Is there a crochet that looks like stockinette? There's a Tunisian stitch that looks like stockinette, but it's quite a bit bulkier, so it depends on what you mean by looking like it. On the surface, it looks a lot like it, but it is not thin and smooth on both sides like stockinette. There's pluses and minuses to knitting and crochet, and some things can be done identically and some things can be done inspired by one craft or the other, but they are different crafts, so in general they don't usually look identical, and even if they look similar, they don't feel identical. And that's why I was saying, even with the Tunisian knit stitch, you can get a stockinette type look, but it will be much thicker or more dense. So, sometimes I think it's okay to embrace the differences too. Not everything's going to look identical. It's knit or it's crochet. They aren't the same thing, which is interesting and cool that we have so many differences and so many varieties of things we can do with yarn and our hands. Yeah, the sound of the waves is amazing this morning, but what I was saying is there's so many pastel colors up here. And you see there's pink. At the horizon, it's gray, and then it goes to pink, and a little bit of purple, and then it goes into turquoise, and then like a pinky coral, almost very muted, and then into the blues and whites of the sky. Yeah, Lydia, if there is a conversion chart, that's great. It's still, it's still up for interpretation, right? They're not going to be identical, in my opinion. Yes, you can come really close, though. Yes, you can. And it depends on how particular you are about how close you want things to match. Do things look identical? Most of the time, no. But you can get things that are similar, yes. It's just a hard question to answer, vehicle. Hi, Peter. So identical is a tough word. Technically, it'll never be identical, but they could be similar. Hi, Naomi. Thanks for joining live. Any other questions? Great questions, everybody. All the colors are so pretty. Brought my yarn with me, I'd start another hat. I thought it was going to take longer to do the pom-pom. That took no time at all. Yes, it's been in the 50s. I think now that the sun's coming out, it's a little bit warmer. No, Cindy, Marlon turned out I'll be making something different for him. I was explaining that earlier in the podcast that it has a little too much texture for his design aesthetic. So I'll be doing something a little simpler for him. Probably something in type page stockinette, but that's okay. Well, I thought it was still a fun story to share with everybody, because if I have somebody picky on my list, certainly there are more challenging to knit and crochet for that I'm sure other people do too. And I'm writing this pattern in sizes from children, all kinds of children sizes through all types of adult sizes. And we'll do that again for his hat, but we'll be making a second hat. And yes, earlier in the podcast, if you missed it, I did do a demo showing how to attach pom-pom. I showed that this came as a set of 12 pom-poms, 2 each in 6 different great colors. And in fact, we all chose together which color I would put on the hat, and then I demonstrated how to add the pom-pom to the hat. So if you're just joining us later in the podcast, I highly recommend going back and watching the beginning. Lots of good information, including a demo on how to add it. And if you're interested in links for Be So Baby yarn or the faux fur pom-pom kit, those are both in the video description below. Hi, Althea. Sure, Brenda. Brenda was asking about how to measure heads for hats, and yes, we can definitely do that. Also, keep in mind that people like to wear hats differently as well, and so whether you're doing 2 inches of negative ease, which is probably somewhere around the way I like to wear hats. I like hats to be snug, but if you like them shrugged, a little more loose and like that slouch style, then you wouldn't go with the negative ease. And if those of you that don't know what negative ease means, whatever size head you measure, you would subtract however many inches of negative ease you want in your hat to create that size. And that's how I like to wear my hats tight. Well, not tight, but snug-ish. Notice that this isn't slouchy at all. It's smooth on my head. That's the way I like to wear a hat, but not everybody likes to wear hats like that. So however you measure your head, you then need to decide, do you want it to be fitted? Do you want it to be loose? Do you want it to be slouchy? So you can add a whole lot of complication to making hats, so to speak, depending on all sorts of things. Yeah, I hope you do, Cindy, because it was really fun to do. I enjoyed doing it, and I enjoyed seeing how simple it was, but I also showed some tips and tricks for finding the loop, because they're very well hidden so that you don't see it once it's on the hat. you can't see where I attached it, and that's because of how well hidden it was, which I love. Dawn's been using my new crochet hooks. Wonderful, and she loves them. Thank you, Dawn. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks. Good morning, Karen. I don't want to take this hat off. I want to leave it on all day. I love feeling that I have a faux fur. I might even pet this throughout the day. And I think I will. I'll put the pom-pom to the inside, put it in a laundry bag, and wash it in the machine and let you know how it turns out tomorrow. I'll do that for an overnight experiment, and then I'll leave it flat to dry, and then I'll show you what it looks like tomorrow, okay? Because I do know that it would be fine for hand washing, but if you're going to give this whole thing as a gift, we want to make sure that it is perfectly safe for the washing machine. And I think with the laundry bag, we should be fine. So, thank you, Robert. Hi, Becky. Grace loves the hooks. Thank you. I'm so glad. Me too. Lisa loves the new hooks too. I'm so glad. Thank you very much. Me too. I think they're really easy to hold and really easy to work with. And great size range too. I like having everything from teeny tiny for jewelry up through super chunky. This is a one ball project in Be So Baby yarn. I use one ball for this. Lots of good questions this morning. The pattern's not released yet. I had to finish the pattern first, so I just finished it over the weekend, but it will be released in a couple of days. Thanks, Lisa. Waiting for any other comments to come through. I don't see. Can you shout out? I don't know what that means, Hank. Thank you, Lucy. I'm glad you're enjoying the waves. Yes, I try to come down here when I can. I figured it was so cold here this morning that there wouldn't be much traffic, and it was about 52 when I left my house, and lo and behold, there wasn't a whole lot of traffic at the beach, so I was Joan, what's the name of the, Bright Tech is the name of the light, and it's linked in the video description. So if you scroll down to the bottom of any of my videos, the name of the link to ordering the magnifying lamp is in there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it was cooler this morning, so I was able to get parking, which is great, which means we can come down to the beach, which is tough to do in season otherwise. Hi Pamela, thanks for joining live. Any other questions? We're almost out of time, guys. Hi Thea. Lisa loves her lamp. Me too. What color is Montana? Annette wants to know. I'm guessing you're talking about beads. That is a very dark blue, maybe a little bit tealy, but definitely a dark, dark blue. Hi, Pat. So those of you just joining now at the end, I highly recommend going back and watching the beginning of the podcast. I talked about the hat. We talked about the faux fur pom-poms, a whole set of them, and I did a demo showing how to add the pom-pom to the hat, which was surprisingly super easy. So lots of good information on today's podcast. There are links in the video description to ordering Be So Baby yarn and getting the set of faux fur pom-poms if you're interested. And again, I did a demo on that as well. So if that interests you, color of this yarn is Be So Baby yarn in colorway platinum. Oh, Thea, it might have. I might have gone early because traffic cleared up for me to park at the beach. My mistake. Sorry. It gets tough. It gets tough with parking here, so sometimes the time is not. Sorry. Lisa's bought these pom-poms and you like it. Sorry, Thea. Thanks. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise, the waves, the colors, the demo of putting a pom-pom on the hat, chatting with me and everyone else. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.